Hi there, I'm Kevin Bloom, and in this video I'm going to be demonstrating the exercise called the thoracic bridge. So basically, a thoracic bridge is a combination of just a traditional hip bridge. So if you're familiar with yoga or other movement disciplines, a hip bridge is basically just lying on your back and extending your hips up. So what that looks like is this. Okay, so that's just a basic hip bridge. Now, the thoracic portion of it is we're incorporating a rotation of the thoracic spine, which is essentially just this portion, or this upper back portion of your spine. And the reason that we want to incorporate this in, and the reason why it's an area that we actually want to focus on with regards to our movement and our exercise, is because most people spend a good majority of their day sitting. And when we sit, number one, we're constantly in this flex position at our hip. And number two, usually if we're at a computer or after we've been sitting in a car for a long time, we tend to kind of hunch forward and roll forward in our upper back. And so over time what happens is our body, the structures of our body adapt to that posture, or the movement, or I guess the posture that we spend most of our time in, which is that sitting posture. So the muscles in the front of the hip, as well as the other structures, the soft tissue, cartilage, things like that, starts to kind of degrade as well as shorten up. And same thing with the upper back. We're constantly kind of in this flexed, hunched over, rolled over position of the spine. So we begin to get very tight in the front of our, in our chest, get very weak and stretched out in our back. And then over time, we start to see degenerative changes in our spine. So with all that being said, we want to try to offset that as much as possible. So the thoracic bridge, which is what I'm going to show you right now, is a great way, a quick and easy way that you can do just that. So the first thing that you're going to do when setting up for the thoracic bridge is you want to make sure that you place your hands flat on the floor with the fingers and the palms split. Okay, so what that looks like, as you can see my hands here, is something like this. So a lot of times people, when they put their hands on the floor, whether maybe they're doing like push-ups or whatever, they tend to kind of keep a cupped hand or a closed hand. We don't want that. We want to splay the fingers, splay the palms, try to open up the hand as much as possible. And what that's going to do is protect our hand and our wrists, but it's also going to allow those structures to get stronger and more mobile with this exercise. Okay, so once we're set up from here, we want to start from either the knees, like I am here, or come up on the feet. You can do either variation. I actually prefer the feet, just because I find that the transition that I'm going to show you, which is the next part of the movement, is a little bit easier on the toes than it is if you're on your knees. But again, either way, you can do either variation. It's kind of up to you. So I'm going to demonstrate the variation where I'm on my hands and my toes. So you're going to start here, and then the first movement I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of open up my hips to the right, and as I kind of plant this right foot flat on the ground, I'm going to lift my right hand, sweep my left foot through till it's flat on the ground, and then I'm going to extend my hips towards the ceiling by squeezing my butt cheeks and keeping my bottom arm straight. Top arm is going to reach right across my body. So I'll show that to you again. Okay, so starting in the all fours position, going to open up the hip, sweep the foot through, extend the hips by squeezing the cheeks, and then reversing the movement, coming back to the start. I'm going to switch sides. And as you notice, as I do this, I'm keeping my bottom arm completely straight the whole time. And then when I come back to the start, both arms are straight. Okay? Again, elbows never bend. Fingers or the hands stay splayed wide open. And as you go into that bridge, really making sure you want to squeeze the glutes or squeeze the cheeks. That's going to help protect your lower back, and it's also going to allow you to get more of that opening effect or that stretch in the front of the hips while you're simultaneously strengthening kind of the back side of the body, the muscles in the lower back, and the hips and hamstrings. So that's called the thoracic bridge. And again, it's a great exercise that you can do to offset some of the negative effects of kind of the sedentary lifestyle that most of us find ourselves in. Now, it's not necessarily going to completely remedy that. There's a lot of other things that you can do. This is just a quick and easy way to kind of add this in maybe to like a warm-up for your exercise program, but probably most importantly, or the way that it's most effectively used, is that if you actually use it throughout the day. So especially if you're someone who sits at a desk, you travel a lot, this is a really good thing to do. Just like, again, spread out throughout the day, doing 3 to 5 reps per side. It's a really good way to kind of warm the body up, but again, it kind of helps offset some of those negative effects that we see from sitting. So that's called the thoracic bridge. Again, if this is too difficult, you can regress it to that just basic bridge that I showed you at the beginning of the video. So if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.